Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunshine Tarot. Now this is a general reading for the solstice year for Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus if you want it. Now these are readings, a series of readings I started doing before Christmas, and I really like this spread. If you caught my New Year's Eve live stream, it's still available on the channel. I did readings for each of the zodiac signs for the calendar year. As I said, I really like this spread, so I wanted to finish these solstice year readings. So the solstice happened with the Jupiter Saturn conjunction. Now that particular conjunction is defining the next 20 years and the next 200 years. So I didn't want to do a reading based purely on that. That's why I've limited to this solstice year, because who knows when the changes wrought by the conjunction will actually start echoing in your life. Possibly not on this year. But this conjunction was fueled, you could say, or led up to by a very powerful solar and lunar eclipse. Now those energies will be more affecting of you, more immediate in the way that they affect you. So there are links in the description down below for the solar eclipse readings, the lunar eclipse readings, for the 2020 season finale video that I did with astrologer David Fischer, which has some very interesting things to say about this year. There's also a link to the Facebook page for this channel where I post astrology videos that I watch. These videos are obviously, so if your notifications from YouTube are a little bit screwy, you can have another go with Facebook and see if they're screwy as well, because they are a bit. And then there is obviously on that page an inbox. So if you want to come to me for a personal reading, that's the way that you do it. Obviously, I would like you to comment, because if the reading means something to you, and if it doesn't, abandon it. Don't try and make it fit. Go and watch your rising sign, or go and watch your moon sign, what have you. But if it does resonate, let me know. You don't have to tell me the ins and outs. But it's because it's always nice to know that these readings find their homes and that they get to whoever it is that they're supposed to get to. Press the like button. It helps. Share, subscribe. General YouTube stuff. You've heard it from everybody. I'm not going to say it much myself. And this year, go into this next year, as much as we've got all that energy of the Jupiter Saturn conjunction fueled by those two eclipses, among other things, then we also have the Saturn Uranus square dominating most of the year, but at least Mars is out of Aries. Now Libra, this I say general reading rules apply. Roles can get reversed. If it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, ignore it or just file it away. It's not necessarily, there's not a huge amount of present apart from the fact that year has already started. So you may have something that you can click onto. So I'll get that the right way around. It's an interesting, let me bring these cards up. It's an interesting one because the outside of the reading is lovely. The bottoms of the decks are lovely. The oracle cards are lovely. But the very centre of the reading is the Nine of Swords, clarified by the Two of Swords. And the one thing that I noticed as I was looking at the cards prior to filming was everything around the edge is reasonably good. But what's that phrase from Nietzsche? Things cannot stand, the centre does not hold. So it's almost as if there is some pain or stress or nightmares that can beat you this year, if you let it. And the fact is that you may not be entirely aware of everything that, in all the ways that it is holding you back or holding you down, restricting you. We're starting with the Devil card. Because interestingly, We start with the Devil card. Okay, maybe all of the outer stuff isn't good. We start with the Devil card. Restrictions. Being held back. Holding yourself in place. Addictions. With, clarified with, the King of Cups. King of Chalices. And this is really looking to me like you've been imprisoned by a dream that has come out of control, and you're okay with where it is, but you're not entirely aware of all the ways where it has gotten out of control and is not necessarily working in your advantage, because this is a year for you to level up. Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. This is a year for you to make a commitment, have a celebration. Four of Wands on the bottom of the main deck. But the actual reading itself, another thing that I noticed, let me pull these clarifying cards to one side. Just look at the Tarot of the Light, Tarot of the Hidden Light, Tarot of the... I've forgotten the name of it. Healing Light Tarot. Sorry. And it looks like a badly put together game of noughts and crosses, or as Americans would know it, tic-tac-toe. We have 2 4s, but they've been blocked by the middle. We have 2 9s, but they've been blocked at the end. And that's the first thing that it popped into my head, even before the, oh my God, the centre does not hold bit. Because it looks like a game of tic-tac-toe where nobody wins. And the central blockage point has to be this 9. Because that would allow the 4s to win. And I like the idea of the 4s winning. Because from the 4 of Cups, obviously I'm getting that sense of divine guidance. Divine guidance. And with this 4 of Pentacles, although there's that defensive urge, there's also that sense of a Herculean feat. Not one that you have to do, but you'll obviously have to do it for it to have been achieved. But this is what I feel from this, that there is a Herculean feat which is achieved, and this takes you to a victory, to a better place. I like, in this tarot, the 6 of Wands always reminds me of the 6 of Swords. So it's both victory and better place in this tarot for me. So there's this Herculean feat where you are, by the very fact of what you do, defending something, which is taking you to a better place, taking you to a better area to be. But that, again, can only be achieved if you let go of some stress or some wound. And no, it's not even a wound, it's stress. It is stress. It is, there's an element of worrying about something when I rather feel 4 of Pentacles here. So those two are linking together quite nicely. Yeah, so 4, 4, 4. Oh, angel number 444. Have a look up at that one. There, and 99 for that matter. But there's some form of worry or stress that is in place within you, that the only reason it is there is to give you a clue of how to proceed forward for a correct rebirth. And yes, there's a little bit of sorrow around it, but that's okay. It's a challenge. It's a Herculean task. But the world's on your side here to help you achieve this. Now, this is very much an emotional thing. You've got 2 things. You've got to overcome this stress, worry, insecurity, and that's what I want to call it. Or there's just this sense of mental torture that isn't... It's not warranted. So whether you're doing it to yourself, which the 2 of Swords would imply, or you're allowed, that's it, or you are allowing to have someone else do it to you, not necessarily with even realizing this. If you don't discard that stress, that worry, that insecurity, you don't get to perform your Herculean task, which takes you to a far better place. At the end here, Ace of Cups, new dream, new love. Nine of Pentacles, there's a grounded sense of the rebirth, because, again, 999, oh yeah, 999, Herman Cain's tax plan, but as an angel number. This Nine of Pentacles, indicating the Ace of Cups, says there's a journey here towards self-love, which is going to be confusing as hell. We have the Hanged Man here. Now we've got from the Tarot de los Angels, Angeles, Angels, whatever, Archangel Gabriel. Now to me that's the Herald, but in this deck he represents the subconscious, that is it. Duality, good and bad. A liking for travel, good memory, compromising situations that can be resolved discreetly. This card is related with everything mysterious. Now I really want to draw on that, represents the subconscious, duality, good and bad. That's something that I really want to focus in, because it looks like here is a great time where you're going to get guided to deal with some subconscious programming. Something that you've been ignorant of, but once you learn to notice it and learn to use it, you know, either by switching it on, switching it off, or by switching it on full power when you need it to, this should bring quite a sense of wish fulfillment, a legally binding wish fulfillment. That's interesting. Coming to for you. Now the crown of the situation is Ace of Wands and Justice. So there is a momentum here of this is going to get sorted, and you can sort it by sorting it, or you can sort it by being dragged, kicking and screaming and not liking every bit of it until it is sorted. But there is such promise at the end of the year. But you will get a just return from the efforts that you put into this. So when your guidance appears and goes, you need to look at that, your first reaction might be, what, that's fine. What are you talking about? It's fine. Because you are blind to where some of this stress and nightmares is coming from. And then as you think about it more, there's going to be an element of, oh yeah, maybe my emotions and thoughts on this particular instance have got a little out of control. And maybe I have ended up torturing myself because of this, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It's almost like it's like a sword in a forge. You know, it's really building up, how can I put it? Really build. These are exercises that you're going to have to go through, and it's a good job that you've gone through them. But you don't want to be hanging around in them. That's the main point that I'm getting here. You do not want to be hanging around in them. Now, I nearly always, clarify a devil card with my Demon Possessed Tarot. So let's see who wants to come out, and okay. And we have the Ace of Pentacles, a whole new beginning. So you even start in the year with a whole new beginning regarding some form of restriction, which is either abandoning it or accepting it. And I think either way, you're going to be like digging through your subconscious programming here. There's a positive message is hammered home here, because it feels like it needs to be hammered home. It's almost like wake up and smell the coffee, for God's sake. Things are good. But things aren't good unless you let things be good, and there's that little bit that you need to sort out here. Because we have from the Sufi Wisdom deck the Celebrate Life, Make Your Life a Celebration card, which really echoes the Four of Swords on the bottom of the main deck. Oh, I never drew a degree angel for one of the Oracle of Heaven and Hell. Let's see what you've got for... Okay, we've got Citael with Creation of New... Oh, that's interesting. Right, so Citael, Creation of All Things. So definitely that new beginning, which Lucifuge Rofakal is promising here with the Ace of Pentacles. Menadel with inner and outer work, echoing that whole subconscious business that we was talking about. Misrael with self-atonement. So I say you somewhere along the line there's something you're doing to yourself that you just need to pack it in. And you can't blame yourself for it because you haven't necessarily seen that you were doing it, but nonetheless you were doing it and you need to stop. We have Kahethel with divine blessings, which is following on from that self-atonement, following on from that self-examination with the inner and outer work, and then that sense of wisdom coming in that the Hanged Man always promises is repeated here with the final card that flipped up visible with Lekabel with intellectual talent. So I don't want to turn around and say that it's a year where you're having an initiation, but it is a year where you're definitely sorting your head out, sorting your emotions out, sorting something out quite dramatically in a good and positive way. And it's something that there isn't a huge amount, other than this, I'm not seeing a huge amount of gains for anybody. So it's in the sense of any competition, you're not losing, but nobody's really winning either, apart from your own internal battle. Five of Wands here. But as the Wands form a pentacle, there is that sense of transformation that a 5 number will always inspire. So 5 is not transformation, but 5 is the challenge, the magic that can lead to a transformation. And this, I love these end cards. Ace of Cups, Hanged Man, 9 of Pentacles. It's a very personal process, this. Even though I do get the sense of there's love around you. But I can't actually tell you where I'm getting, or which card I'm getting that sense from. Maybe it's with the Archangel Gabriel, because I'm not saying that the love around you is irrelevant, but for the purposes of this reading, the love around you is irrelevant, which bodes well for people who have plenty of love around them. And for those that don't, it's showing you a path of how to get to that space, which I think is really, really nice. And I'm going to bring it to a close now because I looked at the clock. It says 1717. So there's another angel number for you. No idea what that one is. But yeah, you're full of angel numbers today, aren't you, Libra? But I'm going to bring that to a close because there's nothing more here to see. But this stretch of angels that we've got here, that was a really, really nice thing to come out for you. The reading may sound more miserable than what it is, because this is actually a really positive reading. There's wealth, Plutus, coming your way, but it's underworld wealth. So again, that sense of the subconscious. So yeah, have fun. But it's, like I say, it's a wonderful process once it's finished. I would hope that you will be able to see the wonderfulness of that process as you are going through it as well, because that's where that Celebrate Life card is there. Okay, Libra, good luck. And within the next week I should get my January monthlies done. All right? Cheers.